Let me be the first to welcome you to Q4. Yes, folks, the first 9 months of the year are over. We've got 3 months left in 2025. 2026 will be here before you know it. And I want to ask you one question and one question only this morning. How you doing? How are you doing on your goals? How are you doing on your wealth building? Are you making progress? Do you need to get in a room with new friends and find folks going in the same direction? That's what we do here at One Rental at a Time. We keep trying to show you the way. We keep trying to give you opportunities to meet new people. We do that through school, through our live events, and of course, our daily financial news, which is live. I want to thank all of you for being here. All of you guys that come in early, please know that I appreciate you and the support and all of that. So let's get into it. Let's start with the last jobs report we are going to get this week. Normally during jobs week, we get 3 jobs report. We got JOLTS report yesterday, which was slightly better than expected. And we got the ADP report, private payrolls. More on that in a minute. The third report, the BLS, usually is the most important report of the week and usually comes out on the first Friday of the month. It will not be coming out this week because the government is shut down, for which I say, great, let it shut down. Let's clean up the mess. Let's really figure out what's going on, and let's see how long this goes. If you guys don't know, the longest government shutdown actually occurred in President Trump's first term. The first term, the government was shut down in 2018 for 35 days. 35 days. I don't know if you guys know this, but as I was reading what may be occurring in this shutdown, if the shutdown goes 61 days, the president can theoretically whack 750,000 jobs. Again, there's as I understand it, in the contract working for the federal government, you need a 60-day notice. So if, I'm not saying it will, in fact, the betting market is saying 8 to 11 days, but just realize if this goes 61 days, perhaps President Trump does what Doge could not do. Think about that for a minute. That would be interesting. So let's get back to ADP report. It was ugly. Again, this is the last jobs number and perhaps the last jobs number before the next Fed meeting, and it was ugly. September was expected to be at 51,000. Again, we've heard from Fed presidents earlier in the week that they expect the break-even rate to be about 50,000. Unfortunately, we lost 32,000. Again, negative 32,000. More importantly, what was reported in August was also revised sharply and is now negative. Came in at negative 3,000. So we now have 2 months in a row negative job growth, ADP, private payroll. This is not good. I will once again stand firm that the Fed should have cut 50 basis points in their last meeting, not a quarter. I believe the job market is deteriorating right in front of their eyes, and they are blind. They are looking in the rearview mirror. I actually have hope. And again, sometimes you can accuse me of being a glass half full guy. I own that. But I am hopeful, given that the crappy, BLS numbers, again, they're crap. They've been revised lower, 9 out of the last 10 months? I'm actually hopeful that the BLS data doesn't show up by the Fed meeting, and instead, the 18 Fed presidents get on the phone and talk to their constituents. Heaven forbid the Fed starts looking out the windshield instead of the rearview mirror. The data that they get from the BLS is old and inaccurate and dangerous because they have made decisions that in hindsight look foolish. So maybe they start picking up the phone and they start talking to real live humans instead of looking at Excel spreadsheets with assumptions and all of that. So again, that is something I'm hopeful for. And it will be interesting, given how bad this number is, what the odds of an October rate cut are. Do the October rate cuts go up? Do they talk about a 50? We shall see. On that front, let's talk about what Fed presidents were saying yesterday. All of these were yesterday pre the ugly ADP report. Goolsby, Midwest business leaders are worried about the return of inflation. I don't want to front load rate cuts, hoping inflation is transitory. They got to stop using that word. I mean, if I was running the Fed, I would not let anybody use the word transitory. It'd be like, you use that word, we're going to put $1 in the swear jar. It's crazy. Keeping rates steady as inflation rises is like a cut. Let me say that again. You can clearly put Goolsby in the hawk camp. Keeping rates steady as inflation rises is like a cut. No bueno. Not good. He's wrong. The job market is falling apart, buddy. If services inflations continue to rise, I would be nervous. I actually agree with that. I highlighted that 2 months ago. We got to pay attention to services. We are a service-based economy. I'm not so worried about the goods inflation, but again, as an economy that's 65% services, please watch services. Again, the lack of BLS data is a problem for the Fed, says Goolsby, to which I say, Goolsby, pick up the phone, call people, talk to human beings. Stop looking at spreadsheets played with by PhDs who don't know what's going on. How about Fed President Collins? Aggressive rate cuts could court inflation risks. We're not out of the woods on the inflation front. Strong equity market boosts household wealth and is buoying consumption. Again, the front of the plane is full. The back of the plane is empty. The K-shaped economy, whatever you want to call it. We've been talking about it for years. And then lastly, I think I have one more. Oh, that might be it. Nope, that's it. Let's talk about home buying. Home buyers by age group, by generation. That's what I meant, by generation. In the last quarter, 4% of home buyers were the silent generation. Folks, the silent generation's like 80 years old or something, but they're still buying homes. 4% of sales were to the silent generation. Baby boomers, once again, dominating the market at 42%. Gen X, 24%. Millennials actually beating Gen X. Millennials are 29% of the market. And finally, Gen Z rocking 3% of the market. It's interesting to see who is still buying in this market. NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang says that electricians and plumbers will be needed by the hundreds of thousands going forward. Again, you've heard me talk a lot about folks going into the trades, maybe skipping college, just getting into the workforce immediately might be the right answer for lots of people. Zillow's in a lot of trouble. Zillow's got, I think, their fourth major lawsuit. Apparently, the FTC is now suing Zillow and Redfin over illegal agreement to suppress rental advertising competition. Folks, that is not good. I want to congratulate people for joining our school community. Shout out Patricia. Patricia actually had a great thumbnail. She's actually holding my book. So shout out Patricia from Hawaii. Brian, thank you, buddy. You're my coach, helping me with weights and whatnot. Thank you for joining. Heather and Jovan, thank you for joining. And then, of course, yesterday, a lot of people bought tickets to Vegas. I'm going to be working on this on Saturday. I'll be reaching out to all of you to get addresses for books. But let's congratulate Victor, Radslaw, Rick, Ivan, Karen, Frankie, and Rachel. Lots of people got tickets to the Vegas event. I can't wait to see you all there. Again, on Saturday. Saturday is my plan to reach out to all of you to get addresses for autograph book and see how you want to use your $100 credit. So look forward to that. We did get Case Schiller yesterday. Again, it came in at negative 0.2 month on month. Year on year, we are still up 1.7%. A little bit about the government shutdown. Again, I think I said this earlier. The longest one was 2018, 35 days. The average shutdown is only 8 days. It is estimated 750,000 government workers have been furloughed, and is estimated that amounts to $400 million in daily compensation. That's an awful big number. What else do we got? Again, folks, no jobs number on Friday. The last thing I'll say, I read an interesting report about Tiger 21. If you don't know who Tiger 21 is, it's basically an investing club of the ultra rich. Their average member has over $100 million in investable assets, and they put out a report about once a quarter on what their really, really rich people are doing. And according to the latest Tiger 21 report, they've actually increased their exposure to cash and fixed income. They're down in stocks, down in real estate. They have a renewed appetite for liquidity. This is kind of the Warren Buffetts of the world. These people are like, I'm going shopping because we are going to see some discounts. They have increased their share to gold as well as Bitcoin. The last thing to talk about is actually two things. First, I did a great conversation yesterday with a boutique hotel investor, Rich Somers. That was posted yesterday at 4 o'clock. I strongly recommend you watch that video, not necessarily because you're interested in boutique hotels, but Rich really drops game on how to take advantage of what is coming in the commercial real estate market. He talks about getting to know brokers. He talks about working with baby boomers. He talks about being creative. So again, while Rich Somers is a go-to guy for boutique hotels, and you should listen to him for that, I think he dropped so much game for a lot of us because there's a lot of pain coming to the commercial real estate market. And if you're like me and you want to take above average, you want to take advantage of that, I suggest you watch that video from yesterday. Again, Rich Somers. I think the video is how to make money with boutique hotels, something like that. Highly recommend watching that video. And then lastly, just as a sample of what's coming, Houston, Texas. There is a lot of pain coming to Class C buildings that were bought in 22. This is a quote from a CEO. I don't think people know how far the pricing has to fall in order for some of these properties to transact, which is somewhat scary. Folks, there are Class C buildings in Houston, Texas that are going to trade at 50% discount or more. Your equity is gone, gone, gone. I told you this was coming. I warned you this was coming. But on the other side of pain, there is going to be a lot of opportunity. And again, I think the conversation I had with Rich Somers about boutique hotels is something you should listen to because, again, it's going to give you a lot of game to work in the commercial real estate market. So, folks, go take a look at that video. Let me know what you think. Again, no jobs on Friday. ADP report, negative 32,000 for September, and now August, negative 2 months in a row. Folks, the job market is falling apart. The Fed should have cut 50. They didn't. It was a mistake. Folks, at the end of the day, if you are a real estate investor, don't forget to look up steadily. Insurance is crazy these days. In fact, Olivia and I just sent them an 18-unit building yesterday to see if they want to give us a bid on that. Insurance is nuts, so it behooves you to give them a shot, see if they can help. Maybe they can, maybe they can't. Link in the description. Later.